Ford Australia. So entertainingly useless, but consistent. They can't even get the basic specs on a limited edition Mustang right. Pretty embarrassing when you think about it, considering that's their job. I'm John Cadogan from AutoExpert.com.au, and I get new cars cheap for buyers here in Australia. Website for that, obviously. Or you can just click the card that's up there. Somewhere up there. Up there now, dude. Look, we'll even help you with the Mustang, like, if you really want to do that to yourself. Ford recently announced a new limited edition of the Mustang called the Mach 1, officially dubbed the Mustang Mach 1 SCS, but only by me, insofar as I'm aware. However, I am fairly sure it'll catch on after this. SCS, or Softcock Australia, as I think it should be immediately rebadged, arises somewhat hilariously as a consequence of what one might think of as a tsunami of product planning and marketing failures by the corporate welfare addicts at Ford Australia. And no reference to individuals is made whatsoever. You can find out more about Ford's welfare addiction up there. I don't know how that works, but it's pretty clever. Anyway, I'll stand by if you want to learn more on that. The corporate welfare addicts, initially promised on the website and in a run of ill-conceived brochures. I didn't know we still did them, but hey, over at Ford they do. Anyway, they promised that the limited edition Mach 1 would feature inclusions such as a Torsen limited slip differential, radar cruise control and rear parking sensors. And the only problem with that is it won't. Oops-a-daisy. The ACCC, when I interviewed them at the Sleeping Giant recently, they say there's a legislated consumer guarantee of acceptable quality, which ensures that products, including cars, must match descriptions made by the salesperson on packaging and labels and in promotions or advertising. Should they not meet these descriptions, of course, you are entitled to a remedy, including, according to the great regulatory gummy bear of the ACCC, repair, replacement or refund, and in some cases even compensation for damages or loss, such as reduction in value. We're getting to what I view as Ford Shitsville's half-baked offer to customers in just a sec. Interested to hear from you whether you think it's a fair enough offer, or perhaps you might consider it to be an insult from a bunch of half-baked ass clowns, as they say in America, who are just trying it on. Do let me know in the comments. It could be either, and let us throw to you to determine which way that's going to fall. We'll get to the offer in due course. These omissions on the Mach 1 Softcock are quite significant in my view. Gee, the rats are getting big, aren't they? They're the biggest rats I've ever heard. Perhaps it's a dog upstairs going crazy. Anyway. Where were we? The omissions on the Mach 1 Softcock. They're significant. This is a car that costs you about 90 grand by the time you get it on the road. And customers are, of course, fuming on social media. And let's face it, you would be too, I'd suggest, if you were handed a shit sandwich with this much shit and this little bread, because they've been handed the Wonder Bra of Mach 1 Mustangs, haven't they? You just undo the clasp and then you wonder where all the ponies actually went. Like, I ordered full-sized and you've sent me Shetland. Bastards. See, regular poverty shitbox Mustang gets rear sensors and adaptive cruise control, right? Which seems like a slap in the chops to the Mach 1 SCS owner. Additionally, Mach 1 Softcock owners find themselves stuck with the fairly, crappy standard limited slip diff that you get also in lower-priced Mustangs. I would have wanted that superior Torsen differential, and I hardly think I'm a voice in the wilderness on that. Like, if you pay the extra money for something limited, don't you want the special kit? Seems reasonable. Anyway, Mach 1 Softcock, just 700 are on the way here to Shitsville, and deliveries have already commenced. It also misses out on fog lamps, so I guess that's a nice touch. And in America, perversely, you can have a red or yellow proper non-softcock Mach 1, but not here. Ditto, rear cross traffic alert and blind spot monitoring. You get crickets on that also. But these things weren't promised, of course. You just miss out on them, okay? And of course, in America, there is a handling package with unique 19-inch alloy wheels, Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres. I really liked them. They were awesome in the BMW M2 CS, just saying. Massive external, like, outside tread blocks, just the cornering response. Delightful. Anyway, you also get, in America, adjustable strut mounts, front splitter, and a special rear spoiler, which you also cannot have here on your SCS. We do get the same 5-litre Coyote Atmo V8 as Americans, but in a unique state of Australian softcock tune. Yes, pumping out 13 kilowatts and 14 newton metres less than that available to our managing partners in the coalition of the willing up north. A Ford Shitsville spin doctor said, "The Mustang Mach 1 is a purpose-built product with a singular aim to be the ultimate driving Mustang on the road and track." Dude, that's brilliant. Obviously, that's ultimate in the context of being subject to the lack of adaptive cruise control, which, let's not forget, is standard in a $35,000 Kia Cerato GT, ditto the parking sensors, and ultimate subject to not making as much power as in America and not having the ultimate handling package or the best diff or fog lamps or those sundry advanced safety features or the same colour palette, but aside from that, yeah, absolutely, the ultimate. There is, of course, an explanation for at least some of this. Uniquely engineered parts which are designed to improve downforce and cooling on the Mach 1 unfortunately mean that the vehicle does not feature adaptive cruise control or audible rear sensors while parking. And I'd suggest, just my honest personal opinion of course, that this is self-evidently bullshit. Like, it's not necessarily a lie, it's just bullshit. And for more on the distinction there, and it is significant, Google Professor Harry G. Frankfurt, the world-renowned expert on bullshit, which of course is one of the most salient features of our culture. The statement's bullshit because Ford is so huge. Like, it's a company with 190,000 employees. It makes 5.5 million vehicles a year and rakes in $156 million in revenue. Its resources are practically unlimited, and it does business everywhere on Earth, except, of course, Cuba, North Korea, Iran, Sudan, and Japan. Like, they've never really forgiven Fidel for the missiles. Like, nasty business over there. An organisation with these resources could, of course, make a non-softcock Mach 1 in Australia. They've just taken the decision not to bother. In perspective, that tells you exactly how special you are to Ford as a Mach 1 softcock customer in Australia. In a rather half-assed effort to wipe the egg off its face here, Ford Australia is going to offer Mach 1 softcock customers 3 free services and a track day. Like, you probably have to sign something waiving various rights, that's just a guess, but there's your offer. And I think this is just a PR masterstroke. Genius is not too strong a word for this. This is so impossibly perfect as customer ass sucks go that I say to Andrew Burkich, President and CEO of Ford Shitsville, please accept my complimentary services as trackside commentator at your pathetic Mach 1 Softcock Sydney Track Day. I'd be thrilled and free to throw myself in on that. This is, of course, an event where those detuned and otherwise quote-unquote ultimate Mustangs can demonstrate exactly what they're made of, over and over. And who wouldn't want to see that up in the commentary box? I know I would. This is probably the most noteworthy Mustang limited edition release in Australia of recent years. Just not that collectible, I suppose, and probably not a resale value superstar, let's face it. Please accept my apology if you bought one. Like, dude, nobody deserves that. And I'm certain that your mates are not giving you endless shit about it at all. Do otherwise enjoy your fine Mustang Mach 1 SCS, the world's first truly low-fat Mustang.